try going home to fall and repair, but not that you care about the fight in your mind. You chase what you know and leave yourself in a bind. We're walking with our hands, we're talking with our fingertips, we're making our demands perfect, but this isn't it. I wanna hold your hand and take you through the thick of it. I'll never understand. Perfect, but this isn't it. We're walking with our hands, we're talking with our fingertips, we're making our demands for perfect, but this isn't it. I wanna hold your hand and take you through the thick of it. I'll never understand. You're perfect, but this isn't it.
Hi folks, my name's Scott from Violet Eye. I'm joined here tonight by the amazing Chris Greig from Chris Greig and the Merchants. It's my pleasure to have you here tonight, mate. This is our very first Behind the Eye podcast from Violet Eye, so we're absolutely
Unfortunately, you've got me.
I'm absolutely frothing to have you, mate, to be honest. So thanks very much for spending your time with us and performing. So that song was called This Isn't It. Yeah.
Yes.
What an absolute belter that was, man, and I really, really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much.
So just talking about things and moving forward, what's been your personal influences? What's been your driving force behind you, what you do?
How long you got?
All night.
So personal influences for me, and I'll go into this later because there's a meme about this answer. But Charlie Simpson, who was the boy with the eyebrows who busted.
Yeah, man.
Aye. So
Massive fan of the metal.
yeah. So big fan of his. His music is what kind of got me
Right.
doing like music. I started out solo and stuff
Class,
like that.
man. Yeah.
Loved Stereophonics for years. That's a band that my dad actually got me into.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him have loved them together for a long time. More recent, Sam Fender.
Oh, aye.
Massive Sam Fender fan.
Yep.
And other bands like the 1975.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to what we write and what we have been writing, a lot of our sort of influences and stuff have been coming more from like Sam Fender, even like McFly and stuff like that, because they've got some like proper hidden gems that are like right up our street. And
they do.
Kings of Leon as well, we kind of like to think of ourselves as like if Kings of Leon were less sort of like grungy in their sound, like, and less sort of raspy, and you could understand what he was singing half the time. That's what we would sound like.
Yeah. It's actually quite good because you can notice like wee influences of all those music like in the tunes.
It's
like,
a lot of it is really subtle.
Yeah, proper subtle. But seeing like some of the longer notes that you were holding that had a wee bit of voice behind them, it's no, you've got a nice wee touch of rasp that's quite Kelly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From Stereophonics and like when you're mentioning these other bands like Charlie Simpson, man, like absolutely class. Like whether you like Busted or not, what a songwriter. Yeah. So that's really interesting, man. Thanks. So after lockdown, you came out with 2 tracks.
Yes.
So it was Wish You Were Here, and then it was Silent Disco. Silent Disco came out,
Yes.
but it was the kind of same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I often get confused as to when it happened because we recorded them the opposite order from what we released them.
Right, okay.
So I'm just trying to think. Wish You Were Here. I'm pretty sure that this is really bad. I'm pretty sure that was when we were in the music video. We were in the Barbers.
Yeah, it was.
It was, wasn't it?
It was.
For Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
I can't believe you know more about my band than me, man.
It's just research, but and I'm a genuine fan, so it's interesting.
Should have researched myself. Yeah.
So let's talk a wee bit about those two tracks. So obviously we were in lockdown, it's shite, and like, where did it come from? Like, how did you get from like sitting about doing absolutely nothing and deciding like, right, we're going to need to basically start again?
Yeah.
Tell us a wee bit about that.
Well, basically, obviously the world went to shit. And we were on like such a high.
Yep.
We'd been playing our first go at like festivals in both Scotland and England. We'd played with some like childhood sort of heroes and stuff, so like Hipsway and Hue and Cry and stuff like that. Like I grew up listening to bands like that, so we got to play with like these amazing artists, and we were actually playing gigs where we earned good money as well. Like it was everything was going well. Loads of folk were coming to our gigs. It was very rarely a slog to sell.
Yep.
And then obviously lockdown happened, but we'd spent all that time like entertaining folk. We kind of said, and we publicly said it on like our social media, that we are we're wanting to continue to entertain people. And we got really lucky because we got funding from Help Musicians.
Fantastic.
And we were one of only 2 Scottish acts in the sort of grouping that got that. It was the other Scottish act was Josephine Sillars.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So with that, we were able to record and produce music videos for, and of course release, including ad budget and stuff like that. 4 tracks, 3 or 4 tracks. We got about $2,000 or something to do it. And we that done us. We released a bunch of tunes through lockdown, including Glue, which done really well. My friend that's went to Made in Chelsea and stuff like that.
Class.
And we were like, all right, okay, we're going to be okay. Our monthly listeners on Spotify went like rocketed up to about 2,000 or something, when it was always at 500 before. It was great. And then near the end of lockdown, we were like, right, we're going to be a bit quieter, we're going to do some writing and stuff, and that's when we wrote like This Isn't It, and we wrote a couple of tunes as well that we've yet to even think about again, to be honest. And life just kind of got in the way a little bit as things started to open, like so like we got new jobs. Dan and the band started up a business with his cousin, opening eco cabins for people to stay like Airbnb style. So that takes up a lot of his time. Chris is a guitar teacher. Donald started working in a barber's, where we filmed the music video. I think it was Silent Disco, actually, now that I think about it. That was in the barber's. Anyway. So, yeah, like things kind of started to get in the way. And then, before we knew it, like, all these amazing opportunities and things that were happening before just weren't happening as often now. A lot of that is down to kind of people getting back into the groove of it, and for a while people not wanting to come to gigs, so ticket sales were difficult and stuff like that. So yeah, it was kind of weird. And we played a headline show in Broadcast in October, start of November last year, and it sold really well. And we're like on a high, like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe we'll get ourselves back out there. And then we stupidly booked another like 2 gigs in Glasgow, like pretty much right after it. Right. So the gig after that we sold less tickets, and the gig after that we sold even less tickets. And it was like a proper like reality check, and it's like a lot of our fans still know us, or like we still know them personally, or a lot of the people who listened to us over lockdown, we didn't do a very good job at like retaining them. And whether that's just through how shite we are at social media, or just like, again, life getting in the way, it's just kind of what happened. So totally, man. We're kind of at the moment in a wee bit of a limbo in terms of we're not going to stop doing what we do, but we we want to work out how to go forward and
Yeah.
do it better, and essentially we're just kind of, as you said, resetting. So
Yeah.
like we're treating it as if it's, although it's the same band who's got a very long history of like 6 years or something, it's like a total brand new
Aye.
thing. You know?
I think that was the same for a lot of bands after lockdown. Although most bands didn't have the success that you did before lockdown. So it's quite hard to see somebody that's doing so well, and then obviously something like the pandemic hits,
Yep.
and then it's just catastrophe. Do you know what I mean? You need to start again, like rebrand without rebranding.
Yeah,
and
essentially.
and going back to worrying about ticket sales, worrying about ticket cuts from promoters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So no, I totally understand that, and I
Yeah.
totally get it. That's really interesting, man. So out of the venues that you have played, what is your favourite one, would you say?
Well, so the biggest milestone one was definitely King Tuts when we
Yep.
nearly sold that out.
Right.
Back in 2019. But the best gig and venue we've ever played, for no reason other than it was just a mad sweaty mess of a night, was Old Hairdressers.
Oh, very nice, man.
We were filming for a music video that never got released, thankfully.
Really?
Aye.
Is that another story, or are you going to...
I can tell it. The guys did a really good job of this music video, and it looked amazing.
Right.
But when I watched it back, it was cheesy as fuck.
Oh, was it?
I cringed like at my acting and
Aye,
stuff like
aye.
that. I was like, no, I'm never doing that again.
Oh, really?
I mean, I probably will, but
Aye.
I'll maybe
Maybe in 5 years
practice.
you'll look back at that, you'll be like, "Fuck, get it, man."
You know, I was so
Get
tempted
it.
during lockdown as well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I might have, like, we did a live stream and I might have showed it or something like that.
Aye, yeah.
But yeah, so we filmed some of it in Old Hairdressers.
Nice.
For Lipstick.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so that's like maybe one of my favourite venues that we've ever played, just because it's a tiny wee room.
Aye, aye.
It's not much bigger than the room we're in right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's intimate.
Aye. We're looking at maybe doing another show there again. The original plan was later in the year, but we were kindly offered a gig by you guys, so we're like, wow, we want to do a headline now.
Just get me headline in.
Aye, why not?
Sorted.
Why not?
18th of June, by the way.
Oh,
So what's the second song you're going to play for us tonight?
it'll be Talking Aloud.
Very nice. Everybody, this is Talking Aloud by Chris Greig. Enjoy.
I've been away for some time, in my own head trying to find
That was shite, wasn't it?
That was absolutely class, by the way. That was absolutely class. Do you want to tell us a wee bit about that track?
Yeah. So, God, that's an old track. We recorded that, I think, like 2017, maybe early 2018, and I released it that 2018 summer. It's weird. So basically, the majority of the time when we were writing songs, it's me and Chris J, the guitarist in the band.
Yep.
And we like send notes, like voice notes to each other.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And one day I was living in Paisley at the time, and I was walking. I think I was going to get a train to work or something, and he'd sent me a voice note, and it was I have been talking aloud, and I just thought that sounds class. So wrote basically a whole song around it, and decided that it would be about just being yourself and not caring what anyone thinks about you. And it just became like our most popular song.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes down to we did the song in the summer, and then we released the video for it at like New Year.
Right, okay.
Because we've been filming all year for it.
Right.
Just like gigs and stuff like that. Kind of try to show off how much of a good time we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
And so it became one of our more popular songs, and it's now the song we end all our shows with, and definitely gets like one of the bigger reactions.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an inside joke that actually started by me by total accident.
Right, okay.
In practice, at the end of the song, or in the choruses, it says stones I don't throw, I'll just hand them out. And then everyone shouts, hand them out.
Right.
Windows will smash all around. And I was being stupid one day in practice, as you are half the time.
Of course.
And Donald found it really funny, so started doing it at gigs, and then people caught on, and
that's quite good though, mate. Like, it's an extra wee layer of crowd interaction.
Aye,
so
exactly.
that's your last song in the set.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Almost always.
Man.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
I actually went to college with Donald.
Did you?
I don't know if you'll remember me, like, but I was either a year or 2 years above him. But I remember him being a class bass player.
He's a prick
in the college. No comment from me. But
no, he's not a prick.
He's a beautiful, kind of talented prick.
Aye.
Would that be more?
He's my prick.
Exactly. I like that. That's a lot to do with how we do things, and both this company and the bands as well.
Yeah.
It's like lovable abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Aye, I know.
Exactly.
I totally understand that. I think nobody understands that better than our cameraman. Oh yes.
Look at that look, man.
I know. So gorgeous, man. What's your moving forward from now? Like, what would be your kind of dream venue to play? Like, a lot of the time when you're talking to Glasgow bands, different artists, everybody is frothing to play the Barras. Right. So, like, outside of the Barras, because obviously everybody wants to play the sold out Barras, everybody wants to headline that bad boy. What would your one be? It doesn't have to be Glasgow based, but obviously people go for that.
Yeah. So, but until we headlined King Tuts, it was always King Tuts.
Yeah, of course.
And that was a dream come true when we headlined that. Obviously, like you say, the Barras. Saw Sam Fender there on my birthday last year, and it was amazing.
Yep.
When you're not in the Barras, you forget that although it's big, it's not like that big.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it still feels like an intimate
Totally,
place.
man. Totally.
But and this is maybe a weird one because I've played it before when I was in school.
Right.
But the Usher Hall in Edinburgh.
Right, okay.
We used to do like school concerts there, and like, all the parents would come and stuff, and it was like all the schools in the area would go and play the Usher Hall. So I'd love to do, like, whether it was a support slot or what, I would love to
just
play
smash
the
out there.
Oh, it sounds incredible. It's such a beautiful room.
Yep.
I just like the thought of like being able to look up and still see people.
Aye.
You know, because
they've
got the big sort of thing.
The big kind of theatre.
Yes, theatre.
Yes. I think I like. I mean, I share that kind of that thing with you about like see playing like a really old building, and it's like theatre, churchy kind of thing.
Yep.
Like, that's something that I would love to do something like that. Like, but obviously the Barras but if you're playing something that's like, right, what can we do that's outside of that?
Yeah.
Those places have their own thing about them that just like, you don't even need any reverb on that mic channel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's carrying it for you. It's
beautiful.
class. Yeah. No, Shahoo's a good one, man.
Yeah.
So, in saying that, with the band in general or yourself, what's the kind of what's your proudest accomplishment?
Definitely, probably the headline at King Tuts, because when I don't even know what age I was, but back in like 2014, I went to King Tuts for the first time,
right,
and I saw Charlie Simpson play,
right,
and I remember being right at the barrier, right in front of him, going, I want to play,
yes,
and stand there and play my guitar just like he is.
Yep.
Was
that a solo?
That was
that a solo gig?
Part of his solo stuff.
Right. Cause I was massive for the Fight Star.
Me too.
Love Fight Star,
I went and saw
man.
them a couple of years later, and it was phenomenal.
I saw them in the ABC, and don't get me wrong, it was absolutely full of Busted fans, like screaming lassies with Busted t-shirts on, but I was there with a Fight Star t-shirt, metaling it up. Do you know what I mean? Emo fringe, full 9 yards.
I don't think Fight Star get like enough credit.
No, they're class, absolutely
good.
Class. And so some of the, like, I'm a keyboard player, like, so for me, like, the piano in a lot of his songs, like that song Floods, I mean, that's beautiful, unbelievable work, man.
Really good.
And watching that guy do that live's class as well, and then just to come straight in, it's class.
And he's like, he it's very complicated, but he's singing, I know, at the same time.
What is that all about?
Amazing.
What is that all about?
So saw Charlie Simpson at King Tuts, and I'd said to myself, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to play King Tuts, and then I did again and again, and every single time it was amazing. Yep. But when we got the email from DF, would you like to play our summer nights and headline it? I was like, without even asking if the boys if they were free. I was like, yep.
That's one of the things. It doesn't matter if you're available or no. We'll get somebody to play it.
Exactly.
You're playing that show.
The Merchants could have been entirely different people for that night.
Yeah.
Not have given a shit. To be fair, one of them actually was, because Dan, our drummer, was in LA.
Fair enough.
Prick. He's also a prick.
Shout out to Dan.
The prick. But he's my prick.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You've got to go there as well, man.
So that was incredible, and then we never quite sold it out. But we still had a
it wasn't a kicking arse off it.
Amazing crowd, and we went, and it was one of those ones that we were only playing for like 45 minutes, maybe not even. Yep. And I honestly felt like we were up there for 5 minutes. That's like,
when you know it's been a good show, bro.
Exactly. But yeah, that's definitely one of them. And also getting one of our songs on the telly as well, which is really cool. Getting
of course, man,
on Made in Chelsea was class, especially because we couldn't gig at the time because it was during lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's an amazing accomplishment to be able to say, like, oh, by the way, this is where my tracks have been played, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in a time when you can't back it up with touring or shows. Yeah. Or even bringing out a merch line. Do you know what I mean? It's you've got to find new ways to punt your tunes. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's like the optimal place that you could have taken that. Yeah,
exactly. And we've done it all without any management as well.
Exactly.
And believe me, we would love management, but it's difficult. You need to find someone that believes in you the same way that you do, and
exactly,
it's just kind of tough to find that sometimes.
Exactly, man. And there's a lot of management companies, especially the online management companies, that is just treacherous territory.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Absolute treacherous territory. A lot of in my experience of managers, has just been a bad one, if I'm honest. It's, you pay your 150 quid a month, £200 a month, and you might get one gig here, one gig there, and you're playing to empty rooms. It's quite, you don't, well, in my personal experience, I've never worked with someone that's had the same kind of vision or drive that I have, or the other members of the band have, which is why it's so important to find your own management service. I think a lot of it is literally down to the things that you've said, and it's more than what band you come from, or it's more about what you're willing to do for that person, and it's not just getting your pay at the end of the month. It's more like, I've got a genuine passion for you, for your music, or I think your music's class. Let me help you take it to the next level, or how can we work together to take the next steps? So it's interesting you say that, mate, because everybody's got their own experience with managers, online managers, social media managers, all of these people, and it's 9 times out of 10 it's torturous, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And we're saying all this, but don't let anyone. Let's just. We're not bitter, right? We're not bitter musicians. But it's just the reality of it, isn't it?
It's the reality of it, mate, and it's a lot of the reason why we started our company as well. Was because we were getting shafted left, right, and centre by whether it be ticket cuts, management, or whatever the thing was that was making us lose money constantly.
Totally cutthroat. It's really cutthroat.
And it's cutthroat when it actually doesn't need to be. Because we found a way of doing it that actually helps people, and we enjoy doing it. We enjoy working with people.
Well, in the immortal words of High School Musical, we're all in this together.
We're all in this together, bro. I like that. I like that.
I should have covered that today.
Maybe that should have been a good one. So you're going to do a final song for us today.
Yes.
And it's called Fountains
and Fathers.
Fountains and Fathers.
Yes.
Really excited to hear this one. And do you normally play this acoustic, or is this like a full band?
Usually it's solo. We've yet to record it.
Right, okay.
And we're thinking about recording it.
Right.
With a full band.
Right, okay.
And a violin.
Very nice. We violin string section. I enjoy this.
Yes, me too.
So this is Fountains
and Fathers.
Fountains and Fathers.
With
That was a very beautiful song, mate.
Thank you.
Absolutely love that. What tune is that in? G?
That's a good question. I'm like, I kind of just do things by ear with music. See, when it comes to music theory, I'm fucking useless.
I get that, mate. I know a lot about music theory, but I tried not to know. If that makes sense, because sometimes it's like, you know, like instead of just enjoying the song, you're like, what key is that in, man? What's the BPM of that bad boy?
I mean, I think it is G.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's just say it's G.
Let's just say it's G. It could be D. It could also be open D. And then you've got a capo on.
Aye, so it's in D, A, D, F sharp, A, D.
Open D.
Capo 6.
I mean, where do we go for there? Do you know what I mean? So you want to tell us a wee bit about that song? It's a really, really beautiful song with a lot of emotion in it. I loved it.
Yeah, so I wrote that song. It was like a 2-year anniversary of my nana's passing. I just wrote it on that day because I was thinking about it, obviously.
Yeah.
And it just ended up being that. And we've only played it a handful of times. It's usually solo or just me and Chris J. Yep. But every single time, like half the room's crying.
Aye.
When we play it, especially because there's like often family there as well.
Yeah, of course,
at the
man.
gigs. And my nana was like the sort of the head of the family in a way.
Right. Okay.
So when she passed away, it was like it hit us all quite hard.
Yep. Of course.
So that was just kind of my little sort of tribute to her, and because the song isn't out yet, it's not been recorded or anything like that, we haven't had the chance to really tell much people about it. Yep. So there's lyrics in there. I mentioned the name Eben.
Yeah, I heard that.
And a lot of people, well, I say a lot of people who have heard it always ask me like, what's Eben? What's an Eben? Who's Eben? Yeah. So that's actually my granddad. Right. He passed away when my dad was very young. Right. And he was called Ebenezer.
What a badass name.
Total badass name for a badass man.
Oh man, what a badass name.
Yeah. But everyone called him Eben.
Right, cool.
So I just thought it'd be quite nice to kind of put that.
Of course, man.
Put that in the song.
It was really nice because I think it was on the last verse. It fit quite well when you said heaven as well. Yeah. Because it kind of caught my ear. I was like, has he been saying heaven this whole time? Mm-hmm. But it was definitely Eben I was hearing. Yeah. And then it was replaced by heaven, and I just thought it was dead subtle, man. Loved it. Just kind of makes it that little bit more understandable and relatable kind of by the ending. The song's just it's just about how me and the family miss her, and how we kind of know wherever she is, she's watching us and stuff like that, and how great she was, and not football related at all, but she was our party piece at every like family night was simply the best. So of course. That's why I put the lyrics. Right. Yeah, you were simply the best. In the song as well. That's class, man. That's really, really nice, man. It's nice to hear like folk actually putting stuff like that in songs as well. Yeah. Rather than just making a catchy tune. Which I am guilty with every other tune I write. Absolutely, mate. The songs are catchy, but it can be catchy and it can catch your emotions as well, which it caught mine. So nice. Very, very loved that tune a lot, actually. Thank you very much. And also, I think when you told me Eben, that story, it made me love it more. Yeah. So that's class, man. Thank you. So will you be playing that at your next show by any chance? Yes. Like I say, we never really play it, but I kind of decided I think it's maybe time. I like the idea of kind of when we're doing a headline show, maybe like playing for an hour, so maybe break up the set a little bit. Yep. So we're going to be playing 2 more acoustic-y songs, or at least kind of acoustic led. Yep. I might not even pull out the acoustic for it. I might just like do it on the electric as well. But yeah. Do 2 sort of more chill songs. Yep. So one of our oldest songs called Horizons, which is kind of a favourite amongst people who have been coming to see it since I was solo. Right, okay. And then Fountains and Fathers. Yep. Which will be nice. It's a great wee set breaker as well. Get the emotions flowing and then get everybody ramped up for the end of the song, man. End of the set. Well, the whole set is pretty much mental except from those 2 songs in the middle where it's like really depressing. That's fine though, mate. I quite enjoy that in a set, man, especially if it is like if you're dancing about and then it's just like, right, chill, I'm going to take my inhaler and I'm going to get straight back in amongst it. I quite like that, man. I do like that. So in Glasgow and other places that you've played, like, is there any artists that you've worked with particularly that you'd recommend that people check out? Any listeners that would check out?
So many. There's so many. There's artists that I haven't had the opportunity to work with. That I would recommend to people just because they're really nice people.
Yeah.
So Mark Sharp and the Bicycle Thieves,
Class.
For one, for sure. I've yet to play a show with them, but knowing the boys in the band, they're all brand new. I always hate this question because this is where my mind goes completely blank.
That's okay, mate.
I've heard this band Arcade State are kind of shite. I mean, great.
See, my problem with Arcade State is they're all scum.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that lowers the reputation of the band. Hoaching, stinking patter.
They're all ugly.
It's just deplorable people.
Aye.
But I mean, also
but they sold it.
But they sold it SWG3, so one of Kieran's favourite lines is hot day ticket sales for me. And I just absolutely hoover that all the time, so I quite like that. But no, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much.
No problem at all. You boys, there's loads of people. Kind of going back to the West Lothian scene as well. Basically the McLean family. So Fraser McLean, Cameron McLean, just that bunch. They're really good, good people. I'm just trying to think of anyone before we move on, in case
you get a wee Twitter message saying, "Thank you, Chris. How did you forget about me?"
Fuck. Who plays in Scotland?
Too many names to think about. Too many personalities.
There's so many. Sarah and Junebug. Got a really good relationship with them. They're really, really lovely people and incredible musicians as well.
Right.
And their band are brand new.
Awesome.
I'll leave it at that for now.
Yep.
But if
that was good answers, mate. Apart from the second answer, I thought that was
pandering.
Just I mean, Arcade State.
I'm just trying to get a support slot, mate.
I know. I don't know, man. I think if anything, we should support each other. Do you know what I mean?
Good idea.
Do you know what I mean?
In life or in music?
Just in general, man. But if you could support Arcade State's bank account, that'd be better.
I don't know about that.
Or maybe we could support you that day.
Alright. I'll not give you money, but you feel free to give me money.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Moving forward, where do you see yourself in the next year?
Hopefully still having the ability to play music.
Yep.
I don't know, there's a lot going on, so playing more gigs for sure with the band.
Yep.
And growing more of a fan base in different places for sure. But I've also I know we're talking about Chris Greig and the Emergency here, but I've also got a little side project on the go with my friend Craig Russell Horn, another musician I recommend people work with if they're into another sort of more electronic stuff.
Craig Russell Horn.
Yep. And we are doing a sort of electronic pop duo.
Oh, I love this.
And we're called Mirrors with 2 eyes.
Oh, very nice. Edgy.
Yep. And we've got our first song coming out very soon. We've not announced any of it yet, so I'm not really going to say much more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very nice, man. Buzzing to hear that.
So hopefully we'll be doing stuff with that.
Is the project being announced or just not the song?
Project's been announced, so we're trying to just kind of get people engaging with our social media now.
Yeah.
And then we've got a song coming out.
Very nice. Very
soon.
Very nice. I like that. You need to send me through the details for that.
I'll send you them as soon as we're done here.
I like that.
Yep. Fuck you, everyone listening and watching that doesn't get to listen to it.
That's fine, mate. It's fine. So on a see after you do a big show or that, and you just go on a band night out. Who is the biggest liability in the band? Would you say? Who's most likely to get lifted?
Lifted? If you're talking getting lifted, Donald for sure.
Donald's a wee.
I don't know. Dan can be a total riot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Mad Dan.
Aye, just mad way at Dan. Aye. I don't know. We all go out and we just get smashed usually. So, that's a hard question. I think it's like equally Donald.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I remember Donald being quite a quiet kid.
Oh, he's quiet if you don't really know him, but otherwise,
unless he's full of Mad Dog.
Aye.
Right, I get that. I'm a wee bit like that too, mate.
Or Bucky, or alcohol.
Yeah, just in general. No, I really appreciate that, man. Listen, thank you so much for coming and
Thanks for having me.
Spending some time with us here behind the eye. My name's Scott. This is Chris, and have a good night.
Bye.